Girls who held yesterday's shooting victim after he was hit are talking about what happened for the very first time since that shooting happened. Now, we are not using the names of the victim or the shooter because they are juveniles. 23 ABC's Christine Din joins us now in the studio after speaking to those girls today. Christine?
Well, one girl held the shooting victim in her arms while the other girl called 911, all as everyone stood frozen in fear.
Within seconds, a morning quiz turned into a nightmare.
I was just looking around the room and I see him walk in and I see him with the gun. I thought the gun was fake. I didn't know what to do, and he looks at me straight dead on, eye contact, smiles at me, and then shoots.
That's when Corey Ramos looked up and saw the victim.
He's sliding out of his chair and falls on the ground.
Ramos said the victim scrambled away from the shooter.
He's just, I'm shot, I'm gonna die, I'm shot.
Ramos said the victim was shot in the chest.
It was bad. It was blood everywhere, all over the floor.
And he rolled on top of me and I was just holding him.
Seconds later, the shooter fired another gunshot and began pacing back and forth in front of the classroom.
Left and right in the front of the classroom, and he's just smiling the whole time, no expression on his face except for a smile.
Students sat or stood frozen in fear.
No one wanted to move because you don't know if he's gonna shoot.
That's when the teacher, Ryan Heber, spoke up.
The teacher's trying to calm him down, saying, I've always been good to you. There's a lot of good people in the classroom.
The girls shouted that the victim was hurt.
He had kind of a laugh, he's I know. I know I shot him, and he smiles.
Ramos then secretly called 911 on her cell phone.
And I just had to tell her, I can't stay on the phone, or if he catches me, he'll shoot me, and I'll die.
At one point, the shooter shouted that he's looking for another person, who then shouted to the shooter, "I'm sorry."
And he goes, "Are you really sorry?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm sorry." He goes, "You're sorry now." And then he loads his gun, and that's when Kim came over, and he talked him into setting the gun down.
Campus supervisor Kim Fields then had the shooter sit down on the ground.
He had his hands on his head like he couldn't believe what he just did. And whenever he was down on the ground, everyone ran out of the classroom.
The girls say the true heroes were Ryan Heber and Kim Fields. In the studio, I'm Christine Din, 23 ABC.